Hey, do you feel like you're
Hi.
living in an alternate reality? Let's talk about it. Introducing Austin on guitar.
Hey!
And of course, our favorite guest, Maddie.
Guess.
Yeah, she's always a guest. And of course, me, your host, James. Today we will be talking about Mandela Effect. How do you feel about that?
Is it a dog? Is it a cat? Bear thing.
Oh, it's so stupid. I love it.
I know, right? So, I brought this up, I guess, a few weeks back when we were all hanging out. Or a week back. I don't remember. Time is irrelevant, which is what we're talking about.
Apparently, time is
That
relevant.
is irrelevant.
To answer your question, no, I don't feel like I live in an alternate reality.
Well, so you know Mandela Effect. Everyone knows Mandela Effect. So why do you not feel like you are? Because I have a lot of friends who have recently been telling me that they feel like they live in an alternate reality, that things are different than what they were. And I want to know what my friends over here actually think.
I'll let you go first.
Well, I said no, I don't feel like I live in
He
an
does.
alternate
He
reality.
doesn't believe it.
Oh, well-
Well, the question is why then.
Why? Well, because I accept the fact that you're so sweet, Bear. No, you can't go through the cables. Go that way. Go that way, not through the cables.
Okay, well, no, I don't feel like I live in an alternate
not through the
reality,
cables.
but at the same time, there's some
Sweet.
pretty weird things that have transpired in
The whole.
the Mandela Effect world.
Okay, so we can always talk about the basic ones. We brought them up a little bit with Mandela's death. The Shazam movie, or where is it Shazam? Where Shaquille O'Neal plays,
Yeah.
and it's not, or Sinbad. It's Sinbad.
Sinbad, that's it.
And like we get it confused with the Shaquille O'Neal movie where he plays Kazam. Is that what it
Kazam,
is?
I think so. That's technically what it was.
Yeah. And then you have the random ones like the Berenstain Bears.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A, Kit Kat.
I again have fallen under what I said earlier. I think everyone's just misremembering and not because the human mind does funny little thing, where someone suggests something and
I don't
through
know.
to the time, due to time maybe, or hearing that thing over and over again, we all eventually start remembering it wrong.
My issue with the Chick-fil-A is that it was on the way to my grandparents' house, and I always remember as a kid looking at, Chick-fil-A and be like, wow, why is Chick spelled so weird? Like, I remember thinking that as a child. Like, why are they spelling Chick, C-H-I-K? Like, why are they spelling it that way?
Okay.
But then I had this theory that, Google is our main search engine now. I know there's a couple others, but it's,
Yeah,
the
it's the most
search
prominent.
engine that everybody uses. So I had this theory that the government was messing with us, or somebody was messing with us, and then they just went and changed all these things. And then we have no way of really searching to find out the true
Changed it
history of it.
online? Okay.
Like, change the history. So, yes, Chick-fil-A rebranded. They are now the normal way of spelling chick. But then whoever runs Google decided, or whoever was in Google decided, oh, we're just going to make all these people think they're crazy and just wipe everything.
I would love to see an
It's
actual...
plausible.
I don't think it's true anymore just because of some of the other things I've seen. But in the beginning when it was starting to
Technically,
happen,
that is something that can happen.
I
though.
mean,
It can. No, it's very valid.
The probability of it happening is way less
No.
likely.
Well, it hasn't happened. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I don't,
I used to have a friend that worked at Google, and
But history does get changed all the time, does it not? As we learn more about it, we retcon it, and we add new context to what we found in the
add
past.
context. We don't change the whole
But it
thing.
changes it, doesn't it? It changes what we think of certain things. So it does. That kind of does happen.
That's a
But
little
it's
bit
not
different.
the same as
That's
what she's saying.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it kind of does happen, doesn't it? We add new things like how whatever.
I mean, it comes down to like the whole idea of like fly you fools, right, versus run you fools, or Luke, I am your father versus
no,
I am your father.
Right?
It's
Yeah,
like-
but see, that's very simple. It's just someone misquoted it, and then someone else quoted the misquote, and then it just
I mean,
spread.
well then let's go with Curious George not having a tail versus
Yeah.
having a tail.
yeah, like one of those, or Pikachu not having the black spot on his tail versus just having a yellow tail.
Yeah, like
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
Does Curious George have a tail or no tail?
I don't remember.
The monocle man in Monopoly.
I don't think he had a monocle. I don't remember. You're asking me to remember things from I already accept.
That's my whole point. That
I
Mandela
already
effect is
accept.
stupid. People just misremember.
Yeah, I already
everything.
accept that I misremember
No.
things, and I need other people to remind me that remember better usually. But then it doesn't mean that they're right or I'm wrong. I don't know. Like memory.
No. There's a definite right or wrong in these
Yeah,
situations.
totally. But it doesn't mean anybody remembered it right.
I mean, especially the Berenstain Bears one.
But it's German, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, honestly.
So it's Berenstain.
Mm-hmm.
It should be. Yes, it's supposed to be Berenstain Bears, but it's Berenstain Bears now.
You sure?
Yes.
All right, if you say so.
That's part of the
I'm hitting
Mandela.
stuff. I'm probably breaking the cameras right now. I've been kicking stuff all night. I gotta sit better.
I mean, but it comes down to the question is, when you actually look at it in your whole world that you're living in, are there moments in time where you've been like, oh yeah, I feel like things are different than they used to be? And not just because as society and culture changes, but literally because things are different. Like you in full on are like, this is how it used to be.
Like, give me an
Like,
example.
with the Mandela effect. Like, you remember Chick-fil-A being spelled the way
Yes,
you
that's
think
a
it
big
does.
one.
But that's not how it was. But you remember it that way. And like, so
Like the Jiffy peanut butter versus Jif peanut butter. Like, I remember going to 7-Eleven with my dad on a random day in December and getting Jiffy peanut butter. Like, I remember sitting in the car, like, looking at this can of peanut butter.
I don't ever remember it being Jiffy. I remember saying Jiffy. I don't remember the can ever saying Jiffy.
Isn't that kind of like how people say
Like
Reese's instead of Reese's?
Reese's.
Well, that's just
peanut butter.
pronunciation.
I mean, but like it'd be like one thing if I looked at you and it was like
Supposed to be
my
Reese,
thought process
probably.
with the Jif.
It's Reese's. Yeah.
My thought process with the Jif versus Jiffy.
Right?
It'd be like if for some reason I was like, yeah, Mickey D's has always been Mickey D's instead of McDonald's. And it's like, no. I just
I'm with
call
you on
it that.
Yeah.
That's not what it was. And like as a kid I could totally see people calling Jif
Like
Jiffy.
Ups instead
Yeah.
of UPS.
Exactly. I could see people making their own thing and that becoming an embedded moment in their brain that changes it. Because the human brain constantly is changing what you perceive.
Or it is true that CERN merged realities with a different...
My friend actually brought up the Hadron Collider.
Yeah. So they just, they've definitely been banging particles together, making stuff happen. So, yeah, that's what they do. They bang particles together and they make stuff happen. They've been recreating the Big Bang, which, in theory would recreate small black holes. But they say they're too small to...
affect the world.
yeah,
affect us as a whole.
take.
Is it Stranger Things?
No,
No,
this
feel
is
like
CERN
this
in
is-
Italy.
I feel like this is
Right?
the,
It's in Italy, right?
I feel like-
Is it? Okay.
But I feel like this
I'm
is
getting
the
told
plot
yes.
Sweden?
for Stranger
no,
Things.
you're right.
It's underneath where the those treaties were signed.
I don't know. That's not important. But yes, the Hadron Collider, whatever you want to call it, is the idea.
Hadron,
A
yeah.
lot of things that people are saying the Mandela effect have, or at least it's a theory that people are saying it comes from.
That's why Trump won.
Yeah, because in another timeline, Trump lost to Hillary, and yeah, I'm like, okay, you could say, yeah, we are messing with time and space, doing the Hadron Colliders.
Well,
and
they have
everything
just
like that.
they just fired up CERN again. So
Yes!
if anything new happened?
Not that I'm aware of. I
Okay.
mean,
Fired up? Is CERN is that a computer?
CERN is the one with the Hadron Collider.
they
They just upgraded
they just
it, and
launched
they just started their new test.
Oh.
So they just in like 4 years or something. This is the first time they've used it since I think
So we
2016.
should start seeing things shift?
I think it's the first time since 2016.
No,
that
but
they've
that's
used
the
it.
idea of where the Mandela effect comes from.
We
is
didn't
that-
notice that happened? And
No, we knew it. We knew it was taking place, and that's why people are using the theory that because of them messing with particles of that.
That's also why
the
people
effect-
theorize that some
time
of
and
the
space.
some of the hurricanes and some of the typhoons were
Mm-hmm.
caused by it as well as some theories. Because there's a few that are just out of season that just have occurred over the last few years, and
Which-
it's like, it's because CERN was fired up,
Which the thing is, like,
spinning,
again,
making particles and hitting them into each other. You're messing with everything.
all of that comes down to the people's lack of
Mhm.
information and
So
knowledge, such
interesting.
as there are such things as rogue wave, rogue storms, rogue
There
things that
is.
just do not.
Weather's
occur
too complicated.
normally.
Weather's
That
way
is
too
true.
complicated.
Barometric pressures.
There's just a lot that's involved. That's just like to blame.
I agree. I
Blame a
agree.
reality shift.
Yeah, I agree. Because weather is way too complicated. I agree.
It just seems absolutely insane to me. But no, a lot of my friends though, or a couple of my friends have definitely been hounding me recently, being like, "You don't feel like you're living in another world." So I looked up some people that were also just curious. I'm like, is this a common effect? And yes, apparently it is. There's a lot of people out there that feel like they aren't living in the same reality they were born in. And
yes, it is
and I'm just kind of blown away by that whole idea, because it kind of does coincide with the Mandela effect, because it came about the same time period where they start feeling this way. You could say it's disassociation.
Is it just a feeling within you? Is it any?
Yeah.
Is it any like you're like, oh wow, because of X, Y, and Z, this is the reason I feel this way?
I personally, from what I've gathered, I feel like a lot of it's just a feeling, and I don't think they have a legitimate reason behind that feeling. That's why I say I think it's disassociation.
Yeah, it sounds like disassociation.
And like the inability to
what
now
are you disassociating from?
reality.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't like the way that the world is going, and so it can't be right.
There's too much weirdness happening. It's not possible for this person to be charged with this and all these bad things to be happening. That's not entirely possible. So they start disassociating, and then they start claiming that it's a reality change, and it's like that's more than likely unlikely.
We have more mental disorder than we ever have before. That's definitely a thing.
See, that's interesting to me, because that's not... Yes, you're right, and I think maybe wrong in the sense of we have more ability to study it, and we've actually dedicated time to studying those things.
That's true, too.
Yeah,
that's
I
valid.
think yes, exactly. Some of the numbers are inflated due to the fact that we're more aware of it.
Yes.
But then also I think that...
And that people are seeking help, and then it's getting documented and
Well,
put into
also
a
isn't it
system.
kind of the observer theory that it's like a particle can become one of two things, and when you look at it, it decides. And so it's like, because we're shining, and then it's also like the Thatcher or whatever, the one where it's like if you try to hide the thing, it's more likely to get. So I don't know. It's like,
did you say Margaret Thatcher?
Nah, I might be wrong. I don't remember who that is.
That's
I think she's some British person.
She was like not prime minister. What was her position?
Probably,
but she was
yeah,
higher
Margaret
up in
Thatcher.
Britain.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm thinking of Margaret Thatcher. That's not the right name.
No, not at all. She's the lady with the iron.
The former prime minister
There you go,
of the United States.
She was a former prime minister.
Yeah, not her. Yeah, not Margaret Thatcher.
Yeah.
But no, Mandela effect. I'm right in my world, right?
Yeah, exactly. In your world, you are.
I'm right.
Yeah, if you want to completely disassociate, yes, you are right. I mean, and I don't want to make fun of the people for feeling away, because like you can wake up and not feel okay, and that's fine.
Right.
But you should at some point face reality and be like, yes, these things are happening. And like they may not feel right, and they may not feel okay, because you may have some weird love or want for that thing to not be the way it is. But that's all I think Mandela effect is. And that whole feeling of reality changing is that people are wanting to find a reason behind the world being crappy, and there's not one.
So
it's just that it is, and you are just now being more able to see it. Like, because during the time of like the Waco event, right, that happened, it's like during that time period, yeah, it was kind of talked about and it did reach national news, but like if you didn't have cable or some of the other like means to see that, you didn't notice it really.
Okay.
But like now we have the ability to see things all across the world at any given moment in time, and due to that mass amount of information coming, we start seeing things differently than it should be, because we're like, oh, whoa, what about this? What about this? Start seeing conspiracy theories in every moment of our waking lives, because we are given so much information, some that contradict, some that coincide, some that are just...
Well, that leads into something I was reading about with the AI, though, where for the last few years, apparently they've been using AI to generate news articles. So that means there's a lot of people out there who have just been reading AI, like they're just... Oh, their thoughts are AI thoughts, essentially. They're just like, oh, look, this news article says the thing that I believe in. And it's like, oh, yeah, that was written by computer.
Doesn't AI truly believe in something, though?
No, but the thing is you're having AI
right?
thoughts. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you're just regurgitating what an AI is spewing out because they want clicks on websites, it's like, oh, your thoughts are AI thoughts. They're nonsensical thoughts.
That could be the same said about us, though. That's the worst part. That's the most terrifying part. Is the fact that it's like...
I definitely have unique thoughts.
You feel that way. But in order to get your information...
Oh, yeah. That's what MGS2 is all about.
In order to get your information, you have to pull up your phone,
I accept what
or
Snake
go
said.
read something on the newspaper, or any of your ways that you get information
Okay.
could be given to you wrong. And so then at that point, are you a person that assesses what you read and then reads the other side as well and then comes to your own conclusion?
Right.
Or do you just read the one side?
Right.
And that's where it determines like whether or not you're having, as you quote, AI thoughts.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, back to the whole idea is too many people do not understand that they live in the world that they live in and they want to find another way out, so they disassociate and come up with crazy ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your thought process with the Chick-fil-A and all that other stuff,
Okay, I have
think
something
it's
to add to
misnomer.
it. No, but I do have something to add to that. So, not just that for some reason whoever owns Google, I don't know, whoever wants to mess around with people that works at
Alphabet.
Google's.
Alphabet. People who
The
own
company.
Google. Alphabet.
Is that what the name is?
Yeah, Alphabet
Oh,
owns
okay.
Google.
Well, I used to know somebody that did work at Google, and they could go and change things very easily.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they could just go in there and mess. But what I'm trying to make a point at is that, remember the Publishers Clearinghouse, right?
Yeah.
The spokesperson,
Mhm.
Ed McMahon.
Okay, yeah.
That is a Mandela effect. He was never with the Publishers
Well, I remember
Clearinghouse.
Publisher Clearinghouse. Ed McMahon is a dude that
I know who I've heard of Ed McMahon.
Yeah.
I
He
don't
was
know
not
who
with
those
it.
are.
But what's crazy about it is I have a board game that's a trivia game that's from 2008, and one of the
Ooh.
questions in there is
Okay.
who is the spokesperson for the Publishers Clearinghouse. The right answer is Ed McMahon,
All right.
That's interesting.
but it's wrong now according to the whole Mandela effect thing.
See, again, misinformation or lack of remembering.
It was
Oh.
in a trivia game.
Or-
No,
no,
it was
it
a
could've-
misprinted card.
Yeah, it could have been a misprinted card, or simply.
It's simply a misprinted card.
But both
I've
of you
played
both
board games.
remembered.
I know
No,
who he is.
said
I never.
I know who. I know both of these things. Yes, I know Ed McMahon, and yes, I know.
Y'all are
Publishers
against me
Clearinghouse.
now.
No, I just didn't
Look,
know. I've
no,
heard
okay,
the name.
I've
I've
got
played
another
board games
example.
with
I've got another
misprinted
example.
cards in them before. It
Okay,
happens.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right, I've got another example. The Sally Fields. Remember how Sally Fields is supposed to be
No,
like?
I don't know who this is.
I'm getting there. Where she accepted, I think it was an Oscar, and she's like, "You love me. You really love me."
Oh, I've heard about this one. Yes.
Okay,
No-
so right,
no
she
idea.
doesn't actually say that now. I don't know what she exactly says, but it's not that. But in The Mask, the movie, when The Mask is doing the Jim Carrey thing, he's doing this whole thing, and the gangsters are shooting him after he danced with the girl. He does that exact line while accepting an Oscar, mocking Sally Fields.
Yeah, that goes back to the Luke versus no. It's just a misquote of a misquote.
Yeah, because that
That's
one,
all it is.
I
It's
didn't
literally
know
A
that.
Luke
Was,
movie
versus-
misquoted?
Yes,
Well-
people misquote misquotes.
I don't think it was a misquote. I think it was liberties taken.
That too.
Because like The Mask is one a very exaggerative
Like,
movie
let them
already,
eat cake
especially
or
when you add
whatever.
Jim
I mean,
Carrey
it
to it.
is.
Apparently, let them eat cake was never a thing. The lady never said let them eat cake.
What?
Apparently, that's a thing. She never actually said those words. It's liberties taken, like you're saying, to get a point across.
Well, what about the
Is that a
Queen
Margaret
song?
Thatcher moment? What was that? What was that? Okay.
What? No, the French Revolution, the let them eat
Oh.
cake.
I remember what he said.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
She apparently never said that.
Let them eat cake.
Yeah, let them eat cake. Famous quote.
I mean, there's but that's the thing is like you can attribute quotes to anybody. That's something we've proven with Confucius says, and like all that other nonsense. And it's like quotes. I don't know if I can take quotes for the Mandela.
I mean, that Mirror, Mirror on the Wall. That was the
That's
first
wrong,
Disney
too.
movie that I ever watched.
Yeah, but that's wrong.
That was the
entirely
first
wrong.
one I had on VHS. I watched it
It's
1,000
Magic
times.
Mirror on the Wall.
And
You are in a
then it's
different
been
reality.
But
I'm still in the old
no,
reality
it's been
here.
misquoted again and again.
No, I
though.
think I'm the only one in
It's
the older
been- no,
reality.
it's been
still. Most of y'all have
misquoted.
transcended me,
all it has is been
and
misquoted.
I'm just stuck here by myself.
Or maybe we assimilated. You're just taking too long to assimilate.
No, I'm not doing it. Digging my feet down. I like this on my Chick-fil-A spelled funny. My monocle man.
Honestly, I was trying to remember that because okay, so I'll give you the monocle thing. For the longest time, I did think the Monopoly guy had a monocle, and like I have no reason other than I think I confused him with the peanut guy, which
Look,
but at the
here's the
same
thing.
the
time,
peanut buy probably doesn't have one anymore
probably
either.
doesn't.
I'm looking that up.
I'm gonna argue on behalf of Maddie for a second and say that she could be right because CERN has proven that Einstein's theory of special relativity is not true. So that means light is not the fastest thing.
Oh.
There's something faster than light. And we've actually gotten to the point that we can measure we can slow-mo cam essentially light particles traveling. So we can measure that speed.
Yeah, but isn't it in the, like,
in
the
relation to
Google
other
seconds?
things. So, I don't know. I'm not that smart. All I know is that they've disproven Einstein. So that means we actually don't know what we thought we knew for a long time now. And so we have to relearn what really it is.
But that's the thing. That's the greatest part about science. It's all theory.
Exactly, but it could
And
be
it's
that
always
there is two dimensions that collided into each other.
They're going to come back and say that Chick-fil-A
I
has
mean,
K in it.
Now that we don't know how light works,
Sure, if we
you know what I mean? Like now that everything's up for debate.
If we take into the concept that maybe there's a chance, there's always a 0.1% chance that anything can happen. Then maybe we crashed into another dimension.
Maybe. Yeah.
But like,
and then I guess instead of just like
instead of us imploding and dying together.
Did like the spirits swap? Like, did we all have
It's
doppelgangers?
very Donnie Darko. Like,
did we all
getting
have
Donnie
doppelgangers
Darko
and we all became one single entity? Like, what about the flesh? What happened to the flesh of my other being?
You just enveloped him.
I
You
guess
know the whole
merged.
like twin thing in the womb where they like.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
God.
What was this just overnight? Did everybody overnight? No one was awake.
No,
hearing
I'm
this
still
happening?
me. Like, I'm still in my own little.
Maddie.
Well, what happened to the
here.
one from this place?
Well,
then?
see, no. The thing is, what we're saying
don't
is
know.
that like
She
we're the
gone.
ones that got taken over.
How? Why?
She killed the
I
new
killed
one.
him. We had a
Pickle
battle.
Rick.
No, we had a battle.
Is that what
of
we're
the
doing right now?
soul.
Pickle Rick. Woo, Pickle Rick.
We had the
Is that
battle.
what this conversation's turned into?
I guess so.
No.
Me and
No.
this Maddie had a battle in our souls, and I won.
Oh my god. No, but I mean, we could go into some really crazy thought processes with that, but
And that's deep.
I still fall under the whole idea is that we as humans are stupid, and we don't remember things properly. And as time
I
progresses,
think it's the simplest one, yeah.
as time
But have you
progresses,
seen the thing? Because that actually bleeds
our brains
into...
deteriorate.
Yeah, but have you heard of hyperphantasia? So people with hyperphantasia have memory where they can literally recall every day of their life, every day of the week, and everything that happened that day. It's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
so
think
there's people
with
that
certain
don't
autisms
remember
have that
anything.
too.
I mean, there's people that don't forget anything. Sorry.
So
There's people that don't remember anything.
I do remember.
You guys, did you know
They have
that?
Alzheimer's. That's
I
a
do
medical
remember reading
condition.
an article about that though. I didn't realize it was
Hyperphantasia.
Hyperphantasia. But hyperphantasia is it's two parts to it. One part of it though, only the people with hyperphantasia have the ability to do it. But hyperphantasia just means that your mind's eye is extremely vivid.
yes.
So how do they explain all this stuff?
They can use their minds, the mind palace, as it's been done in like Sherlock.
Yeah.
He has hyperphantasia because he can literally envision anything. That means he can envision every day of his
I
life.
feel like I don't want to misquote the article because I do know what you're talking about. But
So has anybody asked them
No, from what I remember
about
with,
Mandela effect?
From what I remember with that
That's
article.
the next thing. We need to ask
When
someone
we
with
delve-
hyperphantasia.
I'm gonna get on Reddit and I'll let y'all know.
No, when we delved a little further,
That's a good
if
idea.
I'm not mistaken with that thought process, it wasn't proven. It was just a thought. Like
No,
some of these
'cause-
people had what they believed were correct, and a lot of
No,
them
because
guess
they
stuff.
can. No,
You're really
they,
gonna chalk that up to them misremembering too?
No.
People
not
have
the
proven it
misremembering.
because they asked
Oh,
this
okay.
day, this time, this day, and then people say, well, this is what was on the news when I was sitting on my couch with blah 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 and da 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 da, and then they look it up and that event happened.
Yes,
and,
but
on random days they pick throughout their whole lives.
it was there's significance
cool.
to them though, and that was the whole.
No,
thought
there
process.
wasn't. There
To-
was no
No,
significance
to
to them.
them, there's significance
Every day, every single day of their entire lives.
No, but we should.
Significant.
I
things
want
happen
to
every
look
day.
up editor person, please. Fair thing. I want to look up. There's an article for this because it's really weird because I do remember this whole hyperphantasia thing, and there's something weird to that.
I put it. I'm sure it's on my. It's not in my desk, but it's in my links. Hyperphantasia.
Okay.
But apparently I need to add some more because boy, you need some references, son. Like you don't know what you're talking
He's
about.
doubting you.
I mean, I'm not doubting him because there's a study about it. It's just there was more to that study
There's
from
two versions of hyperphantasia.
than just saying that yes, they remembered everything. There was a lot to that research.
Both hyperphantasias are the same in the sense of a vivid memory, but there's two versions. There's a level beyond hyper. We don't have a name for it though, but it's hyperphantasia as well.
Super hyper.
Exactly. Is that we really want to go Super Saiyan?
That's what I was about to
Super
say.
Saiyan-O? We really want to do that? Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan-O?
I don't know. Sure, we could go with it. But let's say these people have all this, right? As Maddie brought up with back to the Mandela, would they be able? Why haven't they spoken up and disproven or proven these things?
I think we've only ever found 3.
What?
Yeah, and it's all throughout like a couple of times in history.
Yeah.
Which is why I said I'm pretty sure I remember this article, and so
I didn't know it was
that's
that
why I have
little.
It's
issues
super
with it.
rare. It's like the most rare ability to have. To remember everything?
That's why I'm pretty sure there's something more to that article that you should look up.
So it's not the same as having like a photogenic mind?
No.
because technically that doesn't. You can't do that. I don't know. Ask the brain.
Photographic minds work different.
I think it'd be really cool to have photographic mind.
Photographic minds, I'm pretty
I would
sure
do so much
you
with it.
remember stuff. Oh no, I don't even know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sound like an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't want to go into your full thing.
Yeah.
That's why I said we should look it up because I have a feeling that I'm right about what I was saying.
Okay, we'll look at hyperphantasia. I am curious if you guys what level of fantasia you have.
None.
None.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say none.
So if I say like a horse in a field, like a pasture with rolling hills,
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
grass, like how well can you imagine?
Do I have a
these
great
things?
imagination?
How well can you see it in your eye?
In my mind's eye.
I mean, I can see it fairly
Of
vividly.
course.
Fairly vividly.
I
But
see
it
I'm
doesn't look like
recalling
a
a video that I
Well, that's-
saw that reminds me of it.
Interesting.
I was gonna say
So-
that's actually something interesting. Is a lot of people when they picture a picture in their mind, they're more recalling it in a 2D form than a 3D form. So how do you see that? It's a very
But
interesting
even
thought
being able to
process.
recall that in your mind is already a level above what some people have. Some people have shadow,
Mhm.
where they can just see the rough shapes. Some people have nothing. They're like, no, I didn't realize you could even.
Yeah, some people just see.
That you could.
They're just
we
hearing
always
the
thought it
words.
was
rather than
we
the
always
brain.
thought it was theoretical. It was like, picture it in your mind, as in like really think about
So-
it. And it's like, no, you can really picture it in your mind.
I will say it's interesting, like, whenever I try to think of something, like I'm trying to close my eyes and think of the horse in the field and whatever, it's hard to think about, but if I don't focus on thinking of it, then it makes a picture in, like, I guess the
Question.
back
Okay,
of my brain.
then do this for me. It's just a test, maybe both of you.
Okay.
Imagine a
Do
picture.
I need to close my eyes?
You can if it helps with it. Imagine a picture from your childhood where you were holding a picture. Imagine that picture. Can you imagine that picture?
don't
Wait,
have-
so
I
think
don't-
of a memory of me holding a picture and imagine the picture that I'm
I don't
holding.
have a
Yes.
memory of that.
Oh gosh.
And then try to describe that. Do you see that picture?
Yeah, there's a. It's. I mean, it's
Is it
the
an actual
furthest back
memory?
Like a moment in time that you
The
had.
last
recollect.
time I
don't
remember
remember
holding a
anything.
picture was back when I was working at Taco Bell, and we had a Polaroid camera, and it was a picture of like tall James, white James, good James, isn't that what we called him? It was a picture of good
Yeah,
James.
Good James, bad James.
It was a picture of good James on the line. It was black and white, and I remember holding it in the office at Taco Bell.
So at any
Okay.
point in time, just past this present, I don't got to be a child, right?
No.
That's the
it's
first. That's the
Any
most
point in
recent
time.
one I remember.
Like, but you saw the picture. You saw yourself hold that picture. You saw it in 3D.
Yeah, I can think like that. Yeah.
Like thinking of myself in a third person point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I can do that.
And you can see the
I feel
picture.
like it sounds. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's just a weird little thing. Like as I said
do
earlier,
think in
some
black
people
and
can
white, though.
see. Some people can see in 3D.
Interesting.
Like when you were talking about the horse, my first thought process is I see immediately the horse trotting in the green grass, fields blowing, wind blowing.
Yeah,
and I see the horse doing.
Yeah,
its
I don't
scout.
think in still
It's like-
thoughts. Yeah, I think in
And so
moving
some
pictures.
some
Right,
people
right.
see it as a 2D image and they add more to it,
Gotcha.
or they don't add more to it, and some people see it in 3D where they can see more things happening.
See, I think a lot in
I'm
pictures.
sure that also has to do with the Fantasia.
It might.
Yeah.
I think a lot in pictures and videos. So since I watch TikTok way too much, I recalled whenever you said that. I recalled this TikTok that I saw, and it was beautiful, and it was of this guy on this like hilltop way, way in the far, and it was this beautiful landscape,
Yeah.
He's on a mountain. There's mountains, and there's a big open field, and he's whistling, and this horse just comes like booking for him. And it honestly kind of reminded me of
Hildago?
Spirit.
Hildago.
Yes. Was Hildago the name of the horse?
I don't think so. I thought Hildago was the name of the dude.
I
We
don't
thought it was the
remember.
name of the place.
Yeah.
We don't
Don't
know.
remember.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
That was a side note.
We gotta
Anyway.
rewatch Hidalgo.
But
yeah.
so in this horse running, somebody commented and was like, "I envision whenever I get to heaven, this is how my horse greets me," and it just made me cry. So I was like, "That's such a beautiful," because it was so pretty.
You
like
need to meet a horse girl.
it was.
Yeah, oh my
I
God.
need to meet a horse girl. Apparently,
That's what
God.
Fraser, she was like, I want to make new friends, and Fraser was like, you need to meet a horse girl.
that was his literal description. You need a horse girlfriend. Like, okay,
Maybe you do.
okay.
You're an animal
Um,
person, right?
I am. I was like, how do I meet horse people? And he's like, I don't know, go ride horses. I'm like,
I mean, that would
Okay.
Fraser's right.
that would help you meet horses.
Sometimes
Okay.
Fraser's pretty smart.
all right, but yeah, pretty much. So I think in pictures mostly. So whenever he was describing that, when you were describing it, that was what like came to my forefront of my mind. But I can remember that vividly and in color. But if I try to just
Oh,
envision
interesting.
specifically like a specific scenario not associated, it's just in black and white.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about that? Leave comments down below about your level of Fantasia. Let's keep the conversation going.
I mean, yeah, if we're talking about super fantasia,
Like, comment,
a
subscribe.
thing that doesn't, I mean, exists. I mean, anyway.
Oh.
So you're really that skeptical of it, huh? So do you think are you skeptical of Mandela effect? Do you suffer from Mandela effect? I don't think you
Do
gave
you have
an answer.
anything? Yeah. Do you have
Oh,
any
did
specific
I have a...
Mandela
We both said
effects?
how we feel about it. She's definitely pro, like, yeah, this happened.
I mean, I thought
I'm
I said
anti.
my answer, which is
You've been
no.
anti.
Yeah,
But
I
so, yeah,
don't.
just
I don't
absolutely-
believe in it at
okay.
all.
So you don't remember anything that you think is different? Even the Britney Spears thing that we were talking about earlier?
What we were talking about, as I said, I could have totally misremembered
You
it.
don't remember Britney Spears having a little microphone?
As I said, I thought it was for a music video, and she says it's neither. And I'm like, oh well, but I guess that's the thing.
Wasn't that the music video in the high school?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she had in that one, though. She had a different one. They drive me
There's like a. I
crazy.
remember a
I
red
just
room.
can't.
Okay, if I'm picturing Britney Spears with a
Oh.
microphone,
Twin Peaks?
there's like a
never
red
mind.
room, and she's like dancing like she always was, right? It's like
A red
that's the
room?
most I
Dancing
remember.
like she, you know, Britney Spears dancing like she always was. That's
I
all
liked,
she ever did. She just danced.
Yeah,
She's
she
a
didn't
dancer.
sing. Everyone knows that.
She's a dancer. That
I
Britney
liked
Spears dancing,
Toxic. That was one of my favorite videos
dancing
of
like
her.
she always
Is that the
was.
one?
No, Toxic's the one with her in the little beady Julie outfit. Okay, she was never in a video with a red room. She had a red outfit on.
Maybe that's it. I don't know. As I said, again, the reason I don't believe in Mandela
might
is
be
I
thinking
think
of
it's
Pink?
just wrong.
Oh, is this
Or
the one
Madonna?
you're thinking of?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Is that Kill Bill?
No, that's not Kill Bill.
I mean, he's colorblind. It could look the same.
That looks like Kill Bill.
Maybe it
I
is.
don't know, it looks like Kill Bill.
I guess it can.
There's
Does
a
she
red
have a
and
yellow
yellow
outfit on?
The-
Yes.
Yes, the main character does.
Is
She
it
makes me
Thurman?
think of like Bumblebee.
But
can see it.
there's someone wearing a red tracksuit as well.
But all right,
Hmm.
I think we're gonna head towards closing time to get everyone's statement right for the Mandela. Yes, I do not believe in it. I do think we just suffer from lack of proper memory. The Hadron Collider part, maybe we mess with time and space and the whole continuum, and reality is just a whole wibbly wobbly mess of nonsense. Sure, could possibly happen. There's that 0.1% chance of that. Reality being totally different. Again, 0.1%.
Well,
Now-
Occam's razor it all, right? That's
Yeah,
the
exactly.
thing to do, Occam's razor. Because, I mean, we could always argue, like, last Thursdayism is the best example for Occam's razor. Because last Thursdayism is, can you prove that the world didn't come into existence last Thursday? Not really. We all gained memory and everything got set into place and all the history books were written. Everything came into existence. It popped in last Thursday. Prove me wrong. All your memories are false.
Yeah.
Can you
I
prove
mean-
it? No, can't. That's
Which
impossible
falls
to
under
prove
the same
wrong.
thought process
Occam's
with
razor, that didn't happen.
With the last Thursday theory.
So,
We have been here for a while.
wrapping it up,
Yeah.
I do believe that Mandela effect is a thing. I do believe Google has messed with the Google history of marketing and rebranding of companies
I
and
actually agree
fiddling
with you
around
on
with
that.
other things. But I do also think that, I don't know, I think that's honestly my big thing, but I don't know.
I
don't know.
do agree with you on the Google giving misinformation
I
and
do.
changing things. That's not wrong.
Wouldn't that be funny if
But
everybody
I don't
at
think
Google
that's Mandela. I
was
think that's
like,
just stuff that they
haha,
do.
let's mess with all this. Everybody who, goes through here.
Could
Let's
totally
just
see them
mess
doing
with
that
them.
as a
Let's
prank,
just
too.
mess with them. Yeah, and they just ran with it and just left it alone.
Well,
Okay.
I believe CERN has a statue of Shiva, the goddess of destruction, outside of their office, so they're probably up to no good. And,
Really?
And
Yes,
Google's
yes,
motto
they do.
was "Do no evil," and then they got rid of that, so they're probably up to no good.
Dude,
so,
that may be
okay.
one of my favorite things about Google is that the fact that they had that and it was like God. It's like-
What?
Yeah, it's
I
like
did
do
not
no
know
evil.
that.
It's like okay.
Google's motto was "Do no lead."
But all right, so we'll leave it on the
top.
topic of you guys discuss more in the comments with us. Have a
And we'll be doing a comment response sooner or later.
Yes,
I think
we'll be
around
talking about
April is
comments
when we
soon.
do comment response.
yes. All right.
Leave us
Love you
comments.
guys. Have a great
Bye.
evening. Bye.
So that's crazy. They have a statue of the goddess of destruction.
Shiva, the goddess of destruction. Yeah.